Hi, I'm Brooke Baker, Pilates instructor in Sacramento, California. Today we're in my favorite studio and we're gonna go through an athletic reform lunge series. I hope you enjoy the sequence. Let's get started. I've got Courtney here and she has herself on a blue spring. That's what she's most comfortable with. I like to do this on a red. I feel a little bit more support there, but you can give this a try and see what spring works best for you. I'm gonna have Courtney come into a quadruped position. Elbows directly underneath her shoulders, knees underneath the hips, toes right off the front of the footboard here. She's gonna get started with some cat-cows just to find that connection to her core. Deep exhale, rounding the spine. Deep inhale to come into that cow. Every time she comes into that cat, she finds that connection to her armpits, braces through the ribs, really pulls that belly button to spine. She opens up her pelvis, lets her chest shine through on that cow. One more. Nice, deep exhale. Deep inhale. Good. She's going to come into a neutral spine here. Belly button's pulled to spine. Take a nice big inhale to set yourself up, and then she's going to exhale, lift her knees just a few inches off of the carriage to come into her bear. Deep exhale, she's going to press her carriage away to a nice plank. Inhale, pull into that bear. We're just going to do this 2 or 3 more times, finding that connection, keeping that lifted rib cage from the box. Good. Last one. Pressing out to that plank and pulling into her bear. She's going to bring her hands on top of the box. Flat palms, fingertips splayed nice and wide. Nice big inhale. She's going to press herself up to a pike. Leaning herself back into that downward dog. Good. She's going to step her left foot forward. Big toe is going to come into connection with that box. Hands will stay on the box just to help brace. On her next exhale, she's going to press that carriage away, finding her lunge. Inhale, pulling that carriage right back in. 2 more here. I like to get started here. So just so we can find our balance and feel comfortable. Good. She's going to press the carriage all the way out here and hold. Good. From here, very strong through the core, very strong through the quads and the glutes. Hands are going to come to her hips. Good. Inhale, she's going to pull that carriage in, sliding her knees close together. Exhale, press right back out, finding that length of the back leg. Good. If you'll notice, her right heel lifts off of that foot platform as she extends to her lunge, just to help her stay nice and balanced. One more here. On this one, she's going to pause in her lunge. She's going to reach her arms long in front. Palms are facing one another. Good. She's going to pull that carriage and keep her arms long. Now we're working on our balance just a little bit more. Good. One more here. Now she can start to pull those elbows in by her rib cage when she pulls the carriage in and reaching everything long as she presses away. Good. Keeping the bottom of the rib cage tucked in and keeping the shoulders down and off of the ears. 2 more here. Beautiful breath work. Last one, she's gonna keep everything long. Now we're gonna add in a leg extension of that carriage foot. So she's gonna extend that left leg long and pull that carriage right back underneath her. We're here for 3, squeezing that right glute, making sure we're bracing through the core. Last one, we're gonna press all the way out. We're gonna pull in, good. From here, nice big inhale, hands can come back onto the hips. We're gonna press that box into one more lunge. She's gonna pause. Good. From here, we're gonna add on. She's gonna try to bring her left elbow down to the box, turning herself to face right. She's gonna brace through this left shoulder, putting a lot of weight in that left elbow and to the right palm. Good. We're in our side plank. Take a nice big inhale here. She's gonna pull that carriage in, bending her knees, letting them separate. Exhale, pressing away, squeezing the inner thighs together. 2 more. The press and a pull. Last one, she's gonna press, she's gonna hold this plank nice and strong. Right hand reaches up to the ceiling. Good, nice big inhale. On her exhale, she's gonna pull herself in, pike up, and thread the needle, bringing that right hand down to her left ankle. Last one, nice deep twist. Good. She's gonna press that carriage long, bring that right hand down to the box, rotate herself forward into a plank. Good. Elbows come right back underneath the shoulders. She's gonna pull herself into that bear one last time. Press out one time into that plank hold here. Can you press your elbows forward 2 inches and pull that box underneath, strong through the armpits? Press and pull. Last one, press and pull. She can pull herself into her bear here. Pause, let those knees hover. Press and pull the box one more time here. Press and pull. Notice how she's keeping her tailbone long and extended to the back of her heels. Last one. Press, pull. She's gonna pull that carriage all the way in and drop her knees down to the carriage. Good. From here, she can walk her knees forward, let that carriage come home. And then we're gonna find that she has a nice little flexion of her toes here, really pointing. Maybe you can crisscross your toes if you want to really squeeze the inner thighs together and find that connection. She's gonna reach forward and find her straps. We're gonna crisscross those straps in front and choke up right past the handles. Good. We're gonna go into a row series. So her hips are slightly pressed forward into that box. Glutes are really, really tight here. Shoulders rolled up, back, and down to find that connection of her shoulder blades behind her back. When she's ready, she's gonna bring her hands up to about chest height, and she's gonna let those elbows go wide as she pulls back. Good. Keeping the toes pointed to keep them off of the foot platform as her carriage comes back towards the stopper. Good. One more here. Nice deep exhale. She pulls back, and we can transition right into our bow and arrow, straightening one hand long towards your risers, allowing the other elbow to bend. You're going to twist towards that bent elbow each time, taking a nice deep exhale on that twist, rotating from the rib cage, not just the shoulders. Good. One last set here. Beautiful work. Nice. We're gonna come right back. We're gonna uncrisscross those straps now. Hands can find the loops, and we're gonna extend our arms nice and long, palms are faced up. She has that nice coverage of that strap across the palm of her hand. We're gonna go right into our bicep curls. Elbows are lifted off of the body, bringing the fingertips towards the forehead. Good. Keeping those shoulders down, finding that beautiful breath. Every time she pulls in, she really creates an ab sandwich, squeezing the abs between the belly button and spine. Last one. Nice. And our last little reset, she's gonna let her hands come wide and out to the side. Palms are going to be facing behind her, and she's gonna let her hands press back to her hips. From here, she can press all the way back into going into that chest expansion. Nice deep exhale, keeping the chin off of the chest and keeping her gaze up and forward. Beautiful. She's here for 2. Last one, press the hands all the way back and hold. Can we pulse here? For 3 and 2 and 1. Good. Release the arms. One more pulse right here. Press the hands back, keeping that belly button pulled to spine for 3 and 2 and 1. As she comes in, she lets her carriage find the stopper. She's gonna allow those straps to go back onto the pegs. And of course, we want to do that lunge series on the other side, just to make sure we stay balanced in our body. Thank you for watching this balanced body video.